Hello, welcome to Mexico City. This is gallo. It's a weekly group ride that's held every week, rain or shine, over here at 7:50 a.m. On Sundays, and the whole city comes out for this. This is us coming down towards Reforma. This is one of the main business areas, hence the skyscrapers you see at the right. It's pretty impressive in real life. We're not going to go down that street because it's too slow. We're going to stay on the highway. The whole city comes out for this. 150 to 200 people on this day, which is pretty normal. The cycling culture in Mexico City it's almost like hard to imagine. I've been to some big rides like in LA, and I race in Southern and Northern California too. But to be honest, just the amount of people that come out for a weekly event is pretty nuts. So yeah, about 200 people today. I'm gonna get towards the front because it's about to kick off, and probably a little bit safer to have 200 cyclists behind you than ahead of you. I'm probably like already mid-pack here, so maybe I've got 100 people ahead of me. This is the first selection, so you're just kind of sprinting up these overpasses, and yeah, this one is probably the steepest of the day, and just try not to get caught behind too much. A couple of Cat's Hill vibes right here. I should probably talk about where I'm at in my season. So I'm in the off season. I'm about a month and a half into base training. So I started riding technically in the United States, but I started riding seriously over here probably in it would have been like the second half of 2020, like peak pandemic. And yeah, when I started riding over here, I rode the same way that everyone else rode. There's a lot of climber types over here, the types that have like long sustained power, used to going up mountains, long climbs, that sort of thing. I'm trying to develop that again. So I don't really have too much top end at this point, or too much power at all to speak of, but I am trying to build up a base, and I might show you a mountain race I'm going to do in about a month. But yeah, trying to become a climber, which I should be with, how light I am. So anyway, I'm kind of moving my way up in the pack. The best way to describe this ride is it's a race ride, and it is an eliminator. So gaps open up all the time, and if you don't close the gap immediately, there's a pretty good chance the people ahead of you are going to continue to just ride faster than you. So I've been caught at the wrong end of this many times, and if you've seen my other videos, like I have like a trauma about being left out. So I'm gonna take a pole here and just pop up. 300 watts is a lot for me. Normally, it's also a lot for this elevation. So we're at about 7,000 feet. If you haven't been up to elevation yet, it sucks. You lose all your top end. If you push too hard, you can't recover. And then like your FTP, like the sort of power you can sustain, goes down by about 20% if you aren't acclimated. I am at this point. I've been up here for a couple of months now, and so I'm like 10% down on power. But it's tricky because if you push too hard, you still can't recover that fast because there just isn't enough oxygen to go on and get used by your blood. So anyway, yeah, all of this hurts. I'm continuing to make my way up. Kind of thinking at this point, did I leave this a little too late? Because with the amount of gaps, if there's enough fast guys at the front, I might have already missed the front of the race. So we'll see. Just going down this overpass, kind of descending into this highway. Going down under bridges is really tough because you don't really know the road conditions, and a lot of times they're worse down there. I was lucky today. So yeah, just methodically moving my way up. Another way to describe this, apart from an eliminator, we started with 200. We're probably at about 100 people now. Go down to 50, and it'll just keep halving. Is I've never done a gravel race, but kind of want to because it's trendy. It seems cool. Really big pack start events where a lot of groups get separation. You're just trying to hold speed over a long distance. That's kind of how this feels too. A lot of selections are formed. Not what I would call breakaways, like what you'd get in like a traditional like criterium peloton, but like just separations and groups. So it feels kind of like how I would imagine a gravel race to feel. It could be completely off base there, but I'm starting to see the front, so I think I'm good. It should settle down just a little bit, I would think. Yeah, so I'm early in my season. I'm kind of prepping. I want to become a little bit more of like someone who has power, because to be honest, this past season, I'm not going to spoil the second half because Will and I haven't posted the second half of the season yet. But the season went really well, and I'm not really significantly more powerful than I was as a Cat 4. And so I think I'm just going to change the way I train over here, do like longer threshold, a little bit more of that, really up the volume a bit, and hopefully come out of it a bit more well-rounded than I am right now. I'm kind of like I guess I'm closest to like a sprinter at this point, or at least it's the role that I fill on the team that Will and I are on. But I've touched the front, and I'm putting out a little bit of power because it feels good. Probably a mistake, but at this point, we're early enough in this ride to where nothing really hurts that much, and I'm just happy to be at the front. You know, I didn't miss out. This is kind of like the reverse of a traditional race. So in crits, like it's dangerous at the beginning of a crit because people are kind of figuring out their rhythm, but then towards the middle, it gets less risky, and then it gets like life and death with 5 to go, like just nutty. Over here, the most dangerous it was at the beginning, and now it should get a little safer. I'm saying this as we go through, you know, crazy road conditions and these grades, which are a lot sketchier in real life. We're gonna take an exit here, which is a little complicated because it rains every night. So whenever you do like underpasses, whenever you do exits, whenever you go under bridges, you just have to kind of assume that it's going to be wet, and I have past trauma with that. So when I came out here in 2017, I'd take public transportation everywhere, and it was horrible. It was a slow death. So I bought a motorcycle once I could afford it, and I low-sided in an underpass at like 5 in the morning. So whenever I see water on exits and whatnot, I take it pretty easy. We're on Tlalpan now, which is probably like the most heavily trafficked highway / road. It's weird because it's like a highway, but there's these outlet inlet streets, no real exits, so I guess technically it's a road. So if you look on the right, it looks like a protected lane. It's more like a bus lane, and because if you look on the left, that gate, this is a metro line that runs through here, so buses are constantly on the right taking stops. People are exiting the road and getting on it, like this white car here, he just got on the road. So anyway, all of that is happening. Yeah, so as we go through, it's probably a little bit safer where we're at. We're going fast enough. Yeah, there is a large bus there. He's gonna move right eventually, I'm sure. So it's always nice to be on the left side of a bus instead of the right side. Ask me how I know. Yeah, haven't hit a bus yet. No, I have, but low speed. So anyway, yeah, a little bit of the metro on the left. We're just gonna roll through here. This is probably the fastest part of the ride. Just sitting, you know, around 30 miles an hour. And yeah, elevation is weird because you make less power, but because there's less oxygen in the air is thinner, you can ride a little bit faster too. So I would say like for like, it's easier to hold speed and to go at a quicker pace, all things being equal over here than at sea level. It feels worse riding fast just in general over here, but you do go a bit faster. So we're actually heading south now, but we're still semi-close to the Velodromo where Eddie Merckx he set I believe like the hour record, like, you know, one of the first ones like in the 60s during the Olympics. I don't know history, but history has been made in Mexico City, and people still come back over not over here, but a little bit north to Aguascalientes to set speed records still, because the air density itself. So we're going fast, and it's no surprise given how the air is. So all of this hurts. My back is starting to hurt at this point. I wouldn't describe myself as out of shape, but I'm not in shape. Yeah, we're continuing to go through. You can see the road conditions are a little wild, and we're gonna move our way past this highway as we just continue to move south. This is probably the more population dense part of the city, and it gets a little bit more spread out with a little less traffic as we continue on. But this is always weird when you come up on a bus and you kind of have a decision to, you don't want to go on the right because he's going to move right, and if you wait behind him he might stop, so that's also kind of difficult. So we're just going to kind of go on the left here. You can get away with this stuff on Sunday. I don't know if you would during the week or solo. Coffee break. So anyway, as this continues, I should probably start talking about tactics. So this is a training race ride, but I'm also trying to just train my like, one of the first things that you lose in the off season is you lose your instincts. And I was talking to one of my teammates about this, and it's just like, I don't know, it's not like a willingness to risk things, but it's just like a comfort in being close to people going fast, and like an instinct in what they're going to do, like an intuition. And in the past, I've like completely fallen off the face of the earth and just ridden solo for 6 months. And so this year I'm trying to do a little bit more with other people, and to try not to lose that so much, or maybe just to develop it some more. I don't know if that was as sketchy as it looked, because cars do go to the left. The one guy who went to the right, that might have been the move. We're gonna surge out of here. The guy ahead of me in the white jersey is the fastest guy here. His name's Diego. He wins races. I know him. I just haven't been here in a while, so I didn't recognize him during this race ride. If I did, I probably would have marked him better. So he does a little bit of an attack. They're going to close it, and it's still going to be pretty hard in a draft. Guy is legitimately quick. I don't know how I would rate him, whether I'd say he's like a Cat 1 or Pro Conti. He's somewhere in between. This is going to get a little bit congested. We're going to move left on the highway. I didn't know that at the time, so that's why that looked as close as it did. So yeah, it continues. It's probably going to get a little bit spicier from here on in. And I don't know, I just had it in my mind that at this point, I should probably be stretching out my back more, which is kind of hard to do when all you're doing is riding fast. You don't really get out of the saddle as much, and I should probably go to the gym. Anyway, so we're coming up on this overpass. You see just a little like mini attack, a little bit of a follow going over, and then over here on the left, if you watch, you're gonna see something a bit bigger. So we're coming out towards so I'm not gonna follow that. Well, I thought about it. I guess I was kind of trying to follow it. So Diego's gonna get separation. The guy there in the second is his buddy. I didn't know this too at the time, so I don't know if they had like a tactic to try to break away, but it looked threatening. I wasn't going to kill myself crossing over into traffic to follow it, so I'm kind of shoulder checking right now, waiting for a break. But there is a return, kind of like an exit to go back on this highway, and that's going to be at the left, so I have to move over. So I get over here. We probably want to sew this together because the return is essentially a hairpin, and that's a great feature to make a brake stick. So I'm just gonna put in a little bit of work and bring them back before that happens. Otherwise, I might not see them again. This area I'm pretty familiar with. This is kind of like northern Xochimilco, like bordering on it. This is leading out of the city. If you've been a tourist over here, this is kind of where the trajineras, like the little boats, are. The ajolotes, the axolots, they look like frogs and salamanders mixed together. They're super rare. They live over here too, or they're native to it as well. And there's an ecological park on the right. On the left, you can't really see it in the video. This is a very pretty area, and it's unique to the city. Anyway, we're gonna leave it now. Trying to avoid water. There's a bit more above there. That's a little sketchier than it looks, because when you actually see puddles over here, you could have a pothole that's pretty deep. So if you see an actual puddle, you want to avoid it. But we made it out of there okay. I'm just gonna keep it chill. We've got like a police escort now too. That always kind of blew my mind, just seeing the police. They use a lot of different motorcycles over here, and I used to geek out over that. But yeah, just kind of moving at a clip. We're gonna skip ahead just a little bit. This is towards the tail end of this ride, and I'm gonna begin to make some tactical errors. I followed this because it felt good. Like, you know, when you feel bad and then you get a second wind, and yeah, I should not have done that. So I'm just putting out effort for no reason. If I would have dropped this wheel, someone else would have gotten it. He's not going to get away solo. So yeah, I'm burning a match. He kicks again. Good for him. I really like the type of riders that you find over here in Mexico. Like, it's going to sound almost like racist or xenophobic. I don't know. I don't mean it this way. So like over here, a lot of riding is a little bit more manual. So like you attack when you feel like attacking. A lot of people don't have power meters. They aren't like obsessed with data. They aren't, you know, probably autistic like me. So you just get like these crazy attacks. People kind of just ride by feel, and it's just a lot more fun and chaotic than what I'm kind of used to getting in the States, or at least in races. People are pretty measured and boring. Could be the word. So anyway, I shouldn't have followed those moves. The fastest guy was behind me, which is the worst place to have the fastest guy. So now I'm last wheel in this group. We started with 200, now we're down to four people, and I'm last wheel. And when you trade poles for over an hour, and you know it's at a certain pace, you're kind of just thinking that you can anticipate what's happening. I was way too comfortable and a little tired at this point. So Diego gets to the front, and maybe the second fastest guy is in his wheel. I don't really know him. I haven't clocked him, but he's quick, and there's just this acceleration. I get gapped off. I'm gonna come back to this guy's wheel, and I need to just sprint. I didn't though, and I still don't know why. Maybe it's that instinct that, you know, you lose in the off season that I'm trying to get back. So learning experience here. I'm gonna try to Remco my way back up to this guy's wheel, but I'm not Remco, and I kind of just dangle back here. I get a little bit of space back. You're gonna see they're gonna hit a little bit of traffic, so that'll slow them down too. It will also slow me down as well, but I think I've punched my own ticket. Yeah, this is El Gallo. Every week they do a ride like this. We do get some pros that come out over here too. The guy I'm thinking about is in Italy right now, I think, but that's really cool. If that happens, I'll put out another video. yeah, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope it came across as at least informative. Yeah, a really fun ride. The best I've ever done at it. I think I just rolled in like third out of all of this. I know it's stupid to just like say like, oh, yeah, I got third place in a group ride, but haven't done it that well before in the past, so it's pretty cool. I think I'll build on this. If you like this kind of video, let me know. Bye bye.